USSR and Soviet people are alive. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev came to power in the USSR. He announced the so-called perestroika. It means reconstruction, a course for the socio-economic acceleration of the country's development and for radical changes in foreign policy, called New Political Thinking. Gorbachev's first meeting with US President Ronald Reagan took place in Geneva in the fall of 1985, where the parties adopted the Declaration on the Inadmissibility of Nuclear War. The document stated that there can be no winners in a nuclear war. The parties declared their refusal to seek military superiority over each other and reached an agreement to expand relations between the two countries. In domestic policy, elements of cost accounting and material incentives were introduced at state enterprises. In individual entrepreneurship and cooperative activities were permitted. In the countryside, along with state farms, collective farms, agricultural complexes, lease collectives and farms were opened. By 1990, it became clear that the idea of perestroika, reconstruction, had failed. The permitted and encouraged private initiative has turned into a campaign for illicit enrichment, for the legalization of funds obtained by criminal, illegal means. The Supreme Soviet of the USSR adopted a decree of June the 13th, 1990, on the concept of transition to a regulated market economy in the USSR. This decree provided for the denationalization of Soviet property, the establishment of joint stock companies, the development of private entrepreneurship, the idea of reforming socialism was buried. In March 1990, the Third Congress of People's Deputies of the USSR took place. It decided to establish the post of President of the USSR. Mikhail Gorbachev was elected President of the USSR at this Congress. But according to to the Constitution of the USSR of 1977, Article 174, which was in force at that time. The amendment of the Constitution of the USSR can be made by a decision of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR adopted by a majority of at least 2/3 of the total number of deputies of each of its chambers. Neither the resolution nor the decision of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR in the period from the 10th to the 20th of March 1990 were adopted. Therefore, all the changes and additions made to the 1977 USSR Constitution by the deputies of the USSR Congress, including the post of the USSR President established by them, is also not legal. Not legal. Therefore, all documents signed by Gorbachev on behalf of the President of the USSR are null and void. The question is, what powers did Mikhail Gorbachev take off from himself in 1991? According to the Constitution of the USSR, there have never been any presidents of the USSR, and there cannot be. On June the 12th, 1990, at the First Congress of People's Deputies of the RSFSR, Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, on the initiative of Yeltsin, who was the chairman of the Supreme Soviet of the RSFSR, the Declaration on State Sovereignty of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic was adopted in violation of the content of Article 72 of the Constitution of the USSR of 1977 and the law of the USSR of the 3rd of April 1990, number 1409-1, on the procedure for resolving issues related to the secession of the Union Republic from the USSR. Article 2. The decision on the secession of the Union Republic from the USSR is taken by the free expression of the will of the peoples of the Union Republic through a referendum, which was not done. Nobody asked the opinion of Soviet citizens of the RSFSR. Thus, the Declaration of Independence of the RSFSR marked the beginning of the collapse of the USSR. In 1991, the 6th article of the USSR Constitution on the leading role of the CPSU was abolished. The process of forming new parties, mainly of anti-communist nature, began.